All right, here we go. This is part one of our DISC training. Now, earlier in the meeting, I talked about what learning this method of personality traits has done for my business. Uh, when I first heard about DISC, I was a baby Mary Kay person in a red jacket. And I really wanted to start recruiting and building a team. And I wanted for the whole booking and closing thing to be an easier, smoother process. And I was getting really frustrated with not being able to close certain people or know what the right thing was to say in certain situations. And so learning this method of working with others really helped me to elevate. It helped me to start moving forward. It helped me to book better. It helped me to close better. It helped me to relate better with my customers. It helped me to find the right team members to build my team and become a sales director, not because I was manipulating a situation, but because I learned how to communicate more effectively with other people and make other people more comfortable in my presence. And so we're going to go over it. Now, there's tons of books out there. The book I'm reading right now to brush up on it has a foreword written by Zig Ziglar. And I went and got this off my shelf this morning. I'm like, you know what? I've never read that book. Somebody gave it to me and I stuck it on the shelf because I wanted to read it. So I pulled it off and started reading this morning. And I really like this one. So I'm going to read it. This one's called The Positive Personality Profiles, DISC. Discover Personality Insights to Understand Yourself and Others. And it's by Robert Rohn, PhD. So there's tons of assessments out there. The assessment I like that I use is called the Adult Profile. It's the Personality Assessment and Guide. And what I did was I scanned in the assessment page. I had a book that's empty. These books cost about $15. And if you want to invest in this, it is a good investment. I'll tell you all what it is. It's called Adult Profile Personality Assessment and Guide. It's by Dr. Robert A. Rohm, R-O-H-M. So it's the same guy that wrote that book I just showed you. And this is the profile that he wrote to help you to understand what your personality blend is. And there's an assessment in the front of it that I scanned in. And I posted this, so it's copyright infringement, so don't share it. But you can go and download that in our Facebook group. It is downloadable, and then just circle it. What you do when you go through here is you circle, you read the statements, and you pick the statement that's most like you and the one that's least like you, and you circle it. And you do that for every single section. And so you'll need to take some time to do this. I wouldn't suggest doing this, when you're crunched for time. I like to think through this, and it takes about 30 minutes. And I've taken this assessment really many times. While I had Lyme disease, while it was active, my secondary personality changed drastically. And so what this assessment does, after you do this, it gives you your blend of how you are in, when you're just at home being yourself. And it also gives you the blend of how you are when you're presenting yourself to others in public. Because we don't change our fundamentally who we are at home. That assessment for me has never changed. But how I am with others does change. It has changed many years. And so that's what this assessment does. And so also on Facebook after the meeting, Tracy today scanned in the key so that you can figure out what your numbers are, and then the score sheets on there. And it's self-explanatory, but it can be a little bit daunting. So you would count up how many exclamation marks you circled and write it on there. And the directions are on here. Just read the directions and do it one thing at a time. And then you will get your blend, and you'll know what your personality style is. So my personality style is exactly the same as the person who did the chart for the book, because that's my graph on my personality. And this is my graph that he had as an example. So it was really, it creeped me out when I did my my personality the first time. So, but it really, really helps. It really helps you to understand what your own blend is. And so next week when we come back, I expect everybody to do this. Even if you're not here tonight and you're watching the video later, you can do this and then join us next week with your completed one, knowing your charts, knowing your blend. And then I have the book here. And what I'm going to do is we're going to go through, because what this does is it breaks it down and it has what your blend is like. And I'm going to read that to everyone. And we're going to spend the whole meeting reading these so that we understand each other better and we can be better at communicating with each other and we can be a stronger team. And I can understand what you need more. And, you know, this is something that can be very, very powerful. So that's the assessment part of the training and what we're doing. And now what you're going to do is you're going to take this piece of paper I had y'all get out before the meeting. And if you don't have one yet and you're watching the video, grab a piece of paper. You need it. And what you're going to do is you're just going to draw a big square on your paper. I'll just draw my square here and show it to you. So just draw a big square on your paper. And then you're going to draw a line down the middle of your square and a line across your square so that you have 4 boxes like that. Okay. So we're going to go over this. And on your above the whole thing at the very, very tip top, I want you to write fast or faster. And underneath the whole box, the big box, write slower. Like this. So faster and slower. And then down the right-hand side, outside the box, write the word people. And on the left-hand side of the box, write task. Task, T-A-S-K. So you've got task over here, people over here, you've got faster up here, and you got slower here. Now, in the top left-hand box, you're going to write the letter D. I just put it in the corner. Write the letter D. And in the top right-hand corner, you're going to write the letter I. In the bottom left-hand corner, you're going to write the letter C. In the bottom right-hand corner, you're going to write the letter S. And the letters stand for dominant, influencing, steadiness, and cautious. Okay. So what this is, a D personality person is a faster paced, task-oriented person. An I personality person is a faster paced, people-oriented person. A S personality is a slower paced, people-oriented person. And a C personality is a task-oriented, slower paced person. Now, those are the main ways that people do things, the way you approach tasks and the way you approach people and the way you approach life. Are you a fast person or are you a slower person? And so you can read all the stuff about different personality types and what they do, but I'm going to give you some Mary Kay 101 on questions that I ask when I'm doing team building. And that helps you to kind of figure out what someone's basic personality type is. And then you can actually know what to share with them about the opportunity and how to work with them as a person in the future if they don't become a part of your team. And so when I am meeting someone, the first question I always ask them is just tell me about yourself. Tell me about yourself, because how they answer that question will allow you to make a pretty good, solid judgment on what type of personality they have, what's their dominant personality. Now, everybody's going to have a blend. You're going to have a little of all of this in different situations, but most people have one thing that's really dominant and another thing that's kind of secondary. And some people have three, where they have a dominant, a secondary, and a tertiary that's real close to the secondary. And so it just depends on who you are as a person as to what your blend is going to be. I'm a DI personality. The D is very dominant. The I is right underneath it. And no matter what I do, I'm a DI. That's just how I operate. It's how God made me, and it's how I'm happiest. You ask a D to tell you about herself, she is going to tell you everything she's ever accomplished, and she is going to give you her resume. She's going to tell you about herself. She's a task-oriented, fast-paced person. So you're going to know from her, she's going to say, well, I work as the CEO of such and such. I have a degree in this. She's going to talk about her accomplishments. Okay. You ask an I person that question, you better buckle up. Girlfriend, getting ready to tell you her life story. She's going to talk and talk and talk and talk. And so she is a talker, and I personality loves people and loves to talk, and she's going to talk fast, and you're going to know everything. She is the person for whom the acronym TMI was created. She's the original TMIer. She's always going to give too much information. so that she has, eyes just tend to be bubbly and fun and the life of the party. They are out there. The D's are going to run the place. They're in charge. They're the one for whom the phrase natural born leader is coined, because they tend to be bossy. D's tend to be bossy, and here, you're so bossy their whole lives. I heard that my whole life. And, it's something I have to work at to tone that part down of me, so I'm not bossing people around and offending people. And so that I is going to tell you her life story. You're going to know she's just, oh, girl, let me tell you, yesterday I did this and I did that, and I grew up here, and then my mama did that, and my daddy did that. And she's going to talk about everything in her life. You're going to know what she did, what she likes, what she doesn't like. She's going to talk about her food. She's going to talk about everything. She's going to talk about what she bought at the store yesterday, what she bought online this morning. So she's going to talk. You ask an S that question, a steadiness person, and she is going to tell you everything about her family and her children. She's going to say, well, I have 5 kids, and she's going to tell you all their names and how old they are. She's going to talk about her husband. She's going to talk about her family. She's going to talk about everything she does in the community, maybe, the things that she is volunteering for. She's going to talk about the things that are really important to her in her life, and it will revolve around her family. She's going to talk a lot about what her kids are involved in, because that's what she's involved in. And so your S personalities are they're going to be very family oriented people. And you'll know that she's an S personality because she's going to talk a little bit slower and more methodically. D's and I's are going to talk really, really fast. D's are going to be done really fast, and I's going to talk forever. And you're going to have to bring her back to the situation, and wait for her to take a breath and say, okay, great, to reshift her so you can move on to the next question. But an S personality, once she's done talking about her family, you see, that's great. Can you tell me something about you? I'd love to know anything about you. She's like, well, that is about me. I'm like, what's your favorite color? What do you do for fun? What do you have to really dig away to get to things. She has a really hard time talking about herself. She has a hard time because she's not thinking about herself. She's thinking about other people, because she's a very strong people-oriented person. All right. You ask a C personality. Tell me about yourself. She's going to say, what do you want to know? C's are cautious. They don't want to make mistakes. They don't want to overshare. and they really have a hard time thinking through how to answer that question because it's too vague and it's general. They want a specific question. So you have to be more specific and use more precise language with a C personality. My husband is a C personality. I am not a fan of precise language because I'm a fast-paced dominant person. And so we butted heads on that for a lot of years before I learned he's not going to be able to change needing precise language. It's not going to happen. So I can learn to adapt and use more precise language because I know that, and it's helped me to connect better with my husband and get better answers. So precise language for a C. They're going to say, well, what do you want to know? Say, well, tell me about how you grew up. Tell me about your education. You have to be a little bit more specific with them. Tell me what you like and what you don't like, what you're involved in, what your hobbies are. You have to be a little more specific with a C to get to know them. And so once you've got that figured out with that one question, and you know what kind of personality type that you think their dominant personality type is, then you can move on to, okay, I think she's probably a D. I think she's probably an I. I think she's probably an S. I think she's probably a C. And then you know how to share. D's are going to want to hear, they're decision makers. D's are decisive. D's are going to make a very quick decision. They're fast decision makers because they're fast thinkers. And so in a team building situation, when you're sharing with the D personality, she doesn't care about going to seminar with her friends and hanging out time. What she cares about is money. She cares about status. She does want to be recognized, but she wants to be recognized for a job well done. And if you give her a BOA, she's going to slap you in the face. A D does not like that. Janice Trude is the strongest D I have ever met. And she's always telling us in the director's meeting, do not give me a BOA or a sash or a crown. I do not want that. And, she's a lot of fun to be around. She's a fun lady, but that's not her. It's just not her personality style. She would not like that. So a D personality needs to hear about the money. She needs to see the Applause magazine. You're going to have to download it and show her the national sales director's incomes. She needs to see the money. A D is attracted by the money. What got me into Mary Kay was the count up when they had 10,000 a month and 12,000 a month. And that was all I needed to know because I'm a D. I was like, if there's money here, I can stoop and do sales. If a D is going to make a decision to do something, it's going to be about money or status. It's going to be about something she needs that she can provide, that she can control. D's like things they can control. And if they can't control their career advancement, they're going to be really attracted by being able to control their career advancement and move it at the fastest pace they want to if they've hit a glass ceiling and there's no place for them to go in their work. Okay, an I personality. What you want to share with an I personality when you are sharing about Mary Kay, you got to show her prizes. She needs to see the prizes. She's a very prize-oriented person. She needs to see the bling. She wants to hear about all the parties. She wants to see pictures. She wants to hear about the travel. She wants to know about everything she can do to help other people to feel great. She loves sharing what she loves with other people. So she's really going to be attracted to the sales side. And she's the person for whom that natural salesperson stereotype, that's the word I'm looking for, was coined. She's just a natural born. She can sell anybody, any place, anytime, anywhere. Sales come very naturally to her because when she loves something and she's in on it, she is going to share it with everybody. So when you're talking with an I personality, you have to, if you think she's an I, you want to give a little bit more time in your date book for the interview. A D is going to be done pretty quickly. She just needs to see the facts. She doesn't want a lot of extraneous information. She wants to see the money. I's want to hear everything. They want to hear the story. They probably want to hear your story. They probably want to know what your prize is. They want to see your prizes. And so I's are going to take a little bit more time in an interview situation. Now, an S personality, I would not go in talking to her about going to seminar and leaving her family. That's not going to appeal to her. What's going to appeal to an S personality about the Mary Kay business is the support the company gives us. She is going to be very attracted to serving others because S's have a servant's heart. They're people oriented and they're slower paced, so they don't need to know about the advancement being fast. What they need to know is that they are in control of going at the pace they want to go. She's going to need to know there are no quotas. She's going to need to know that we don't have territories and she can work with people anywhere. She's going to need, I don't know if you noticed, but I started talking a little slower. This has been my training for so long that when I'm even talking about an S personality person, I lower the tone of my voice and I start talking slower because it makes her feel more comfortable. And that's what I've gotten used to. So I made myself do that so that S's were more comfortable around me, because if I bring my DI blend, I'm going to intimidate her and she's going to think there's no way I could do this. I could never be like her. So it's not about manipulating the situation. It's about making her feel more comfortable in my presence. It's about me serving her and meeting her where she is. And so that steadiness person needs to see that you can make an income with this business. She needs to know that loyalty, that people are loyal to brands and they're loyal to our brand. She needs to know we're the best selling brand in the world. She needs to know about the 100% guarantee and that Mary Kay has her back if a customer's not happy with the product. She needs to know the facts that give her security and let her know that she can serve others at her own pace. She needs reassurance. So reassurance is probably the best word for an S personality. A C personality is going to need information. I'm working with a C personality right now, and she wanted to know the percentage that is charged on Stripe with the My Shop before she makes her decision on whether she's going to sign up and do this. So I'm sending her PDF documents, and I'm having to go on Mary Kay in Touch and talk to, get in the chat and find out where documents are so I can download them and send them to her. A C personality wants to know about the training. They want to know about the support. They do not like disappointing other people. So it's very important to reassure a C personality that there are no quotas and that you're not going to pressure her to perform at a certain level, and that she can move at her own pace, and that you will match your time with her effort so she doesn't have to communicate that to you. And so with a C, it's very important to tell her, you know, if I see you at the meeting, if I see you showing up, if I see you, you know, having your accomplishment sheet and sending that to me, I'll know you want more of my time automatically. You will not have to ask me. But if I see you pulling back, if you're not responding to text messages or email, I will automatically pull back too, because I respect your boundaries. Does that sound fair? Does that sound like a good way for us to work together? And so she needs reassurance as well, but she also needs to know that you're going to be there to support her. And she may need, I had one C personality that I recruited one time that wanted to read the entire beauty consultant's guide when we used to have it printed before she would sign up. She wanted to get the guide and do the training to figure out if she could do it. A C personality may want to come to training. A C personality is the one who's going to want to come and see the meeting. She's the one who's going to want to, she's going to want to look at things. She's going to want more information. So they're cautious. It takes them a longer time. In a team building situation, a D or an I is going to be able to make that decision right then, sign the agreement, and do it. A C or an S may need to think. She may need 24 to 48 hours. She may have someone she wants to talk it over with to get a second opinion. And in that case, it's really, really important to say, what questions do you think that they will have, and answer those for her and equip her with those answers, or reassure her that you'll be there with her for the answers. Now, turning this around to your hostesses. If you're working with a hostess and she is a D personality, you better have a contest because she wants to win it. Or tell her about a contest because she'll want to support you so you can win. These are supportive people and they love winning. And so if you tell someone in a party that you are working on a big you're working on earning your star consultant status, and you're looking for people who know other people who are overworked, overtired, and under pampered, and would deserve a little pampering, and would be a good hostess if they would like to do that. It would definitely help you meet your goal. Adi is going to help you to meet your goal. Adi is going to help you if her budget is tight and she wants free product, because she is very conscientious about money and how she spends it. Adi is going to book with you because she knows she'd be a good hostess and she wants free product. All right. And I is going to book a party, invite all her friends because she loves people. It's not hard to convince an I to have a party. They are a walking, talking party, and they're going to want to have a party for you. And so when she knows that she can get free products, she'll be like, ooh. So you got to really coach an I closely on who to invite, so she invites the right people and you can give her good hostess credit. And then an S personality is going to book a party to help you with that goal as well. S's are so supportive, and they are going to want for you to win. They want you to be able to shine, and she wants to support you with that. And also, she will book a party to help her friends feel special. She wants to help her friends feel special. A C is going to be the person that if she does hold a party, she's holding it for one reason and one reason only, and it's because of the money. She wants free product. She's cautious about her money, and she is, she usually plays close to the vest, and she's going to invite her friends, and she's going to say, I've checked this product out. I really like it. I want to introduce it to you. I like my consultant, and I would love to introduce her to you and you to her. And would you come and be at my party? So there's a different reason each person would have a party. There's a different reason each person would recruit. And the better you know the personalities and the personality style blends, the more you can answer their questions and not just anticipate what they're going to say, but be more relatable in that moment and know how to answer questions. So that's kind of the basic framework of what I'm going to share tonight. And next week, after everybody's taken their assessment, go through here, check your most and your least, and then go to the other one. I had a printout of it here somewhere. You want to go to the key, download the key, and add them all up. Add your pluses and your minuses and your exclamation marks and your stars and your question marks. And then you'll follow the chart and fill it out. Those two things will be posted at 8:00 after the meeting. So y'all can go and download those at any time. Tracy put them in the FOXY unit group so that y'all can download those. And so now I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording so that y'all can ask me questions. And for everybody watching this video, thanks for watching.